Hi guys, today I'm bringing you my favorite contemporary books. So if you're interested in seeing what I like to read personally for contemporary books, keep watching. The first one I've got for you is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Perkins. This book follows Simon. Simon is 16 and he's blackmailed by one of his classmates because he writes emails to Blue. Simon is gay, Blue is too, but we don't know yet who Blue is, but apparently he's going to the same school as Simon. Simon has to come out basically to everyone because he wants to protect Blue and doesn't want to get the emails to get out. This book is really cool. Besides of that it deals with LGBTQ, it's also written really funny. If you like Rainbow Rowell, I'm pretty sure you like Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda. It's a very short read, but I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. I love this book. I wanted to reread it the second it was over. So definitely one of my favorite contemporary reads. The second book I have for you today is Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Manson. This book follows Amy and Roger. Amy's dad died and her mom moved to another state. So Amy is staying in that old house, waiting for it to get sold, while her mother is setting up everything in the new house. And when the house is finally sold, Amy has to move to her mother, and her mother has this super idea that Roger, the son of a family friend, picks Amy up, brings her across the states from California to Connecticut. So the itinerary is set in stone, but Roger has different plans and he's trying to get Amy onto a detour to figure out why his ex-girlfriend dumped him. And the whole book is set up in a very cool way. So we have like playlists with little doodles. We have diary entries. We have pictures. We have postcards and letters and admission tickets. So very cool. It definitely helped the reader's experience. It made me love that book so much more, so I can highly recommend this book. The third contemporary read I wanted to show you guys is one of my all-time favorites. All-time favorites. I first read this as ebooks, but then when I finished and reread it like 3 times, I went out and actually bought the paperback versions. They don't have these books in hardcover, just in paperback, and they are in German, but I know for sure that they came out in English as well. So we have Karina Bje with Kirschroter Sommer und Türkisgrüner Winter, which translates to Cherry Red Summer and Turquoise Green Winter. These haven't gotten around to be very popular around the English booktube community, which is so sad because I know like a bajillion people who would love these books because you all love Rainbow Rowell. I know I do too. And these books just remind me of Rainbow Rowell's writing style. We follow Emily and Elias, who live in Berlin, and they both are going to completely different unis, but Elias' sister is actually Emily's best friend. And when she moves to Berlin, back from another uni in another city, Elias and Emily have to meet again, which is really fun. You kind of get the feeling that there needs to be something more behind the history of those two. They can't really stand each other, so Emily is not a big fan of being in Elias' apartment, and basically they just fire sassy comments at each other the whole time. We learn more about these two, we get to see their history, and I don't want to spoil things, but I think you can see from the covers that this is going to be a love story, and I love my love story contemporary books, so definitely check these out. Remember, Cherry Red Summer and Turquoise Green Winter. The next book I don't have in physical form with me because I listened to it on audiobook. It was absolutely amazing, and it's Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Sands. Aristotle and Dante meet at the beginning of summer, and it's just such a nice read if you like family-related contemporary We learn so much about their parents. It's just so beautiful how the whole family relationship is described. You start to care about those two characters so much. You just want them to be happy and live their best lives. So definitely check that book out if you haven't already. The next book I also haven't gotten around to get a physical copy of yet. It's Into the Deep by Samantha Young, and the second book is Out of the Shallows by Samantha Young. It's definitely young adult, but be careful, there's some sexy scenes in it, as Samantha Young also writes new adult. These two books follow Charlie and Jake and their relationship. Charlie met Jake at some party when they were 16 and they clicked instantly. Then things started happening in Jake's life and he moves and he completely shuts down. He doesn't let Charlie in and doesn't share his feelings with her, and they break up eventually. As this book jumps between the past when they're 16 and the here and now when they're going to university with 20 or 20 something. Charlie is now over Jake. She always wanted to do a semester abroad and she moves to Edinburgh to go to university there. One thing apparently leads to another and Charlie and Jake meet in Edinburgh once again, and things are not looking very rosy between them. Yeah, and the story kind of follows their journey. Can they be friends again? Is there something more? Can they just be friends? Can Charlie forgive Jake and what he has done to her and how he made her feel in the past when they were 16? I keep pushing this book like Cherry Summer to Kiss Green Winter on everybody I know. So here you have it. Read Into the Deep and Out of the Shallows by Samantha Young. The next book I'm pretty sure are kind of obvious to everyone around BookTube because it's on everyone's favorite contemporary shelf, and it's Stephanie Perkins and her Anna and the French Kiss series. So we have Anna and the French Kiss, Lola and the Boy Next Door, and Island Happily Ever After. I really enjoyed these books, especially the first Anna and the French Kiss and the second one, Lola and the Boy Next Door. These are all companion novels, so in the first book we follow Anna, obviously, on her semester abroad in Paris. Paris is such a beautiful city. After reading this book, I totally wanted to visit, and I did. And I stood on a point zero. If you have read this book, you know you can wish for something on point zero. And I did that. And it's just, once again, such a beautiful contemporary romance novel. Like I said, I love my contemporary romance novels. Because while Anna is studying abroad, she meets Etienne St. Clair. And they kind of get along very well. He's this funny but really good looking character. Got to fall in love with, but he has a girlfriend, which is kind of a bummer. But definitely give this a try if you want to read something set in a different city, contemporary romance, just gives you all the feels. The second book of the series is Lola and the Boy Next Door, which follows Lola in San Francisco, and she always had a really good relationship with her neighbor Cricket. And these two are just so dorky and hilarious characters that you've got to care for them. I did like this book a lot. I mean, like, a lot. And San Francisco is described so beautifully. I visited San Francisco as well, and kind of remind me of when I read this book. Yeah, so definitely, if you haven't already, check out Stephanie Perkins because it's just a wonderful contemporary read. And the last book I want to show you today is definitely not a surprise, again, like the last books I showed you, and it's Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Do I need to say more? Do I really need to say more? Fangirl is like everything you dream about. Because if you're like me, a really big fan of fantasy, and especially Harry Potter, you will relate to Kat so much. Kat writes fanfiction based on Harry Potter, and she's really big in this whole fandom thing, and she has a twin sister called Ren. And when they start to go to college, Ren wants to go her separate way, and Kath doesn't understand why her sister is changing, and all of these new influences, and has to figure out how to maneuver once being the new girl in college. She kind of has this roommate who at the beginning seems not very nice, but has this awesome best friend Levi, or Levi, or whatever you call him, because once again, I'm really bad at names. I always called him Levi. And he's just like this super nice boy from next door. He wants to get to know Kath, try to figure out, help her, yeah, and things just go from there. I loved all of these characters that are in this book. I loved Kath, I loved Ren, I loved Reagan, who is her roommate. I loved Levi. I just wanted to reread this book again and again and again, and I think it's the perfect conclusion to this favorite contemporary read. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video to see my favorite contemporary reads. And now you should know I'm really big on these romance contemporaries, young adult romance contemporaries. I just love them. They give me all the feels. They warm my heart, and I have nothing more to add. So, see you next time. Bye! Ta-da! Whoops! Dropped it.